Hey guys, MJ here. For today's episode, we will talk about what is considered to be the greatest Hawkeye run. It is Hawkeye Volume 1, My Life as a Weapon by Matt Fraction and David Aja. We start with a flashback where Kate Bishop and Eli went on a friendly date on a carriage. Eventually, it stopped when Ronin attacked them. Ronin knocked out Eli, but Kate was able to fight back until she realized that he's testing him. He gave him his card and told her that he wanted to see her shoot and to bring her bow. The next day, Kate went to the address, which is the temporary headquarters of the Avengers. Kate thought that Clint was dead, then Cap gave his bow to Kate as his successor, but it appears that he's alive and made a bet on his bow. Ronin won and gets to keep his bow and his Hawkeye name. The news eventually reached out to the young Avengers. Speed helped Kate to break into the Avengers' secret base to steal back Clint's bow. Clint and Luke Cage went back to the base and immediately knew that Kate was hiding with his bow because he knows her scent. Eventually, Clint let Kate to have his bow and keep the Hawkeye name. Now the main story starts with Clint falling from a building, then fell on top of a car. We see him bedridden with multiple injuries but is good to go after 6 weeks. Then we switch over to Clint at the vet telling the nurses to fix a dog who is clearly unwell. After that, Clint was walking around the neighborhood when he saw a Russian mob called the Tracksuit Mafia, evicting a family of their apartment and threatening to kill them if they don't. Now these mafias are known for the excessive use of bros along the series. He approached one of their members named Ivan. Then Ivan told him that if they won't pay the rent, they're gone. However, the woman is telling Clint that the Tracksuit Mafia is tripling their rent, but since they own the building, Clint told her that they can. Back to the vet hospital where Clint confirmed that it is not his dog. The doctor suggested that the dog to be euthanized as it lost a lot of blood, in shock, and is difficult for surgery. But Clint replied to do what they gotta do. Then we go to the rooftop of Clint's apartment with his neighbors, where he finds out that the Tracksuit Mafias are raising the rent on each building around the hood. Next we see Clint approaching the Tracksuit Mafia, who are guarding in front of a Chinese establishment with a dog, in which Clint asks them if he can pet it. They replied that the dog bites, but Clint just gave it a pizza slice. Clint later went inside the building, which in this case is an underground casino. He told them that he doesn't play cards and everyone starts laughing. But he went straight to the point and gave Ivan a lot of money that should cover everyone in the building as he's shuffling some cards. Ivan declined the offer, but Clint said that he wasn't asking, and he started throwing cards to the mafias, where he got hit by a bottle on the head. Then we see him sleeping in the vet hospital where Ivan and his mafias approached him. We get back to the casino where the mafias threw him outside. The mafias brought guns, so Clint started running away. He got hit on his right arm, but to his surprise, the dog beat the shooter to help him. One of the mafia kicked the dog and threw it into traffic. So Clint went back to beat them up, but the dog was hit by a car. Now going back to the vet hospital, Clint started beating up Ivan and his men. He forced Ivan to agree to their earlier deal, but now we find out that Ivan raises the rents on purpose, to draw out all of them for the mafias to sell it to their buyers. He went back to the vet hospital where the operation was successful, but the dog suffered broken pelvis, leg, ribs, and he lost an eye and will recover with proper rest and care. The doctor asked him of his name and found out in his collar that says Arrow. Then Clint told the dog that he will come up with something better. Now we get to know Clint's successor, Kate Bishop, who took over for him as Hawkeye when he dressed up as Ronin. While Clint was showing off his skill by firing 3 arrows at once, Kate was looking at some photos in which Clint told her that it is a vagabond code. They are markers in specific areas to warn folks to get out of town if they don't like the heat. Next, they went to a night circus where they were expecting one of the bad guys are going there, such as Madam Mask and Kingpin. The two Hawkeyes wore special lenses to counteract the ability of the host of the circus named Maynard Thibault, aka Ringmaster, who is known for his hypnotism. We also find out that Maynard and Clint also went under the same teacher, who is called Swordsman. As the circus began, the audience started getting hypnotized, then one of Ringmaster's group commenced stealing from everyone. After that, Clint and Kate split up to chase the thieves. Kate went to attack the woman in pink and beat her up by hitting her with a fire extinguisher. Although Clint got hit by a crowbar at the back of his head and got beat up. Clint's hands are tied behind his back, then Maynard ordered to shoot him in the head. Kate rescued him by pretending as the woman accomplice. The enemy started shooting at them, but the Hawkeyes managed to escape by diving into a swimming pool. Then Kate managed to blind 2 enemies by shooting arrows to their eyes. Ringmaster eventually managed to cut with them, but Clint quickly fired an arrow at him. Ringmaster evaded it, but the arrow bounced from the wall and hit him back of the head. The Hawkeyes used the boat filled with stolen jewelry and money to escape. Next, we see Kingpin told the other crime lords that Clint robbed them and suggested to plan on the situation. Then we see Clint looking at his board filled with crimes on different places and saying, "Good boy, Lucky, good boy," as he finally named the pizza dog Lucky. Next, we see Clint trying to organize his trick arrows by using the tape to label the knocks, but he ran out of tape, so he went outside. He met a woman with a red 1970 Dodge Challenger. Since Clint is super rich now, he made a deal with her. Later, Clint and the girl made out when the tracksuit mafia crashed in their room and attacked them. Clint got knocked out and woke up with the girl has been taken. He called Kate to get him and chase the tracksuit mafias and save the girl. We find out that the Challenger was stolen by the girl, then it got hit by Kate's car. They drove the Challenger while the girl was tied up behind. They got chased by the tracksuit mafias, and Clint used different trick arrows such as Fruity Arrow, Sonic Arrow, Acid Arrow, Explosive Tip Arrow, Cable Arrow, and Smoke Bomb Arrow. He used a suction tip arrow to climb on top of the car, then swung to the one of the mafia's car. He used an electro arrow to stun the driver, but one of the mafia was able to reach Kate where both cars crashed. Clint woke up with one of the mafia is pointing guns at him and Kate. Kate fired the arrow upwards, but she used a boomerang arrow, so it came back to hit behind the mafia's neck, and they were able to rescue the woman and help her to get to the airport to escape. Next, Kate asked Clint if he ever killed before. Then a shield helicarrier appeared and took Clint with them. Maria Hill told him that the tape got out of the Operation Euclita, and they have only 72 hours before the tape goes up for auction in Madripoor. Clint went into a luxury hotel named Madripoor Pearl. He got black bag right away and woke up in a room with Madame Mask and his men, in which she took his passport and his shield credit card that has literally no cash limit, then threw him in the room while still tied up on a chair when a group of ninjas tried to kill him. The auction for the tape where Madame Mask eventually won with a bid of 1 billion euros. We find out that it was Kate Bishop pretending to be Madame Mask, while the real Madame Mask is tied up. Clint managed to escape the group of ninjas trying to kill him and jump out of the window, where she was rescued by Maria Hill. He lost one shoe when a ninja tried to grab it and fell off. Kate Bishop watched a footage of the tape where she saw Clint kill Du Kaifeng, who is one of the most dangerous terrorists, but it was said in the news that it was the Navy SEALs who did it. The girls eventually found the real Madame Mask. Kate Bishop got caught, then Madame Mask threatened her by smoking an entire pack of cigarettes and will use her face as her ashtray. Suddenly, Clint fired an explosive arrow to the window and entered to save Kate, but he got wounded on his left foot since he lost his shoe earlier. They went back to take the tape where Madame Mask caught up with them and fired a shot, and Clint got hit but was saved by wearing a Kevlar. They escaped, and then Kate found out that it was really the Navy SEALs that killed Du Kaifeng. But when the names of the SEALs involved were in danger of being revealed, and to prevent that from happening, Director Hill and Nick Fury Jr. devised a plan to create decoy tapes of the assassination using 3 decoy tapes. One with Captain America, Wolverine, and Clint to smoke out the moles. So that's it for today's episode. If you like my content, press the like button and feel free to let me know what story you want to know next. And I'll see you on the